It brings me no pleasure to turn my sword upon my subjects, but unlawful acts will not be tolerated. Stout heart will stand. Battle! Before we get too deep into the game, a couple of logistics. I have been, and I will continue to be sneakyteak resident broadcast personality. So pleased to be here tonight to share this moment with you. However brief it may be, it will burn fast and bright, and then it will explode. Without further ado, Songs of Conquest. Songs of Conquest. Key was given to me by the devs. It is, in their words, a game similar to the old Heroes of Might and Magic games. Apparently, it's a love letter to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. They say turn-based tactics combined with pixel art and a modern twist. I watched a little bit of it. It looks promising. Let's go. Songs of Conquest. Says, welcome to the early access version of our game. You'll encounter bugs and unpolished features. Please report any bugs. B plus B plus B. Wait. Bug! Okay, they really did it. You're also more than welcome to join our Discord to discuss feedback, to learn the game mechanics, start with the campaign and single player. All right, let's go. Choose campaign. We're offered 3 campaigns. Well, 2 and a custom, I guess. The first song, the Song of Stoutheart. Cecilia Stoutheart, the young baroness of the barony of Stoutheart, must face enemies within and without to hold on to her power and protect her people. Stoutheart will stand. Second song, From the Ashes. Freed from the slave mines of Beria, Rask of South Creek Flats, and a small band of Rana flee and fight their way to the deep marsh and home. But the dangers in the marsh are many, and Rask must awaken the might of Rana to end the threat from the humans once and for all. From ashes we rise. That'll be number 1. The Song of Stoutheart. First mission. A new baroness. In the year 593 AA, young Cecilia Stoutheart rose to baroness after the untimely death of her father. When ore shipments from Barkspur's rich mines go missing and rumors of bandits are brought to the new ruler, Cecilia leads a small force to investigate the missing resources and restore lawfulness to the barony. Begin. Hold down the Alt key to highlight objects on the map. Okay. Woo! Things are falling! Now, it's been a minute since I played a tactics game. By which I mean, technically, Alina of the Arena was tactics, right? But like a RPG tactics game, okay? Not a tactics roguelike. But I do love them. Lost shipments. Cecilia Stoutheart, the new baroness of the barony of Stoutheart, was on her way to the quarries of Flint Hills. Did you know that Cecilia Stoutheart is the new baroness of the barony of Stoutheart? I thought you should know. All shipments of stone from this region had stopped, and she was determined to find out why. She suspected an uprising of bandits and peasants, and had already sent troops to the region to restore order. Bandits, and even worse, peasants! Travel to Flint Hills. According to my minimap, vaguely east, underneath my body is a round indicator and an end turn button. That's it. You may see it. Looks like this. Okay. Tutorial. Movement. Click the right mouse button to set a destination for your wielder. Right-click the same destination again to confirm and move. As a wielder, you also interact with locations using right mouse button. Left mouse button is used for selection and inspecting. Okay? The movement indicator shows how many movement points your wielder has left. Movement points. This is refreshed each turn. Okay? When your wielders have no more movement, you might want to end your turn if you have nothing left to build or research. Press the end turn button in the bottom right corner. Wielding movement. We could go check out this Aurelian milestone, a source of power. We could check out, it says gallows. but that's not what that is. Oh, I see. We're the blue. Okay, we do actually need to go west. So there's not really anything east of us, except for secrets. Go east. Go east. Go east. Go east. Ignore the plot. I only have 1 hour to play the game. Go east. Oh, it won't let me go more east. Why? You have reached the eastern border of the planet. Okay, well, you know. We tried. What are you gonna do? Gallows. Death comes to all. Some sooner than others. 250 XP gained. Do I still have 9.5 of 12 movement remaining? I can zoom, and it does this nice tilt-a-whirl. And a little scrolly-oly. Okay. Now to the Aurelian milestone. Source of power. This old milestone shows the way. +2 movement. Duration. 1 turn. Go as far as you can, child. That stump looks hella sus. There's also a dead commander, but I think that we should investigate this stump. No? Okay. Well, we tried. The dead commander wore Stoutheart colors and the distinctive sign of the Corvus Reserves. Stolen ore was one thing, but an uprising against Stoutheart troops, well, that was more serious. Dead Commander. An old artifact is found on the body. It could prove useful in the time to come, or sold for gold. A dagger. +1 offense to cut a slice of bread, a strip of meat, or the throat of your opponent. Or 900 Gs. Enlist Rangers, enlist Footmen. I don't need a dagger. I'm rich. Surely I already have a weapon. I mean, like, there's no chance, right, that they didn't outfit us with a weapon? Wielder sheet. Wielder sheet. The wielder sheet gives you an overview of your wielder. This is where you can check your skills, powers, inventory, and equipment modifiers. Okay. Skills are abilities that you gain as you level up. They give powerful enhancements and can range from gaining gold each turn to increased offense or more essence. Gaining gold each turn. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a little like... a lot less Fire Emblem, I suspect, and a little more like Advanced Wars, or what was the one that came out for Switch a couple years ago? War, drums, war beat, rhythm, drum war beat. Gosh, it's just on the tip of my brain. War Groove. Thank you. Saved. War Groove. Yeah, where you're actively spawning in more kind of foot troops, regular fighters. You've also got your hero, who's stronger than usual. And probably if our hero dies, we lose, but then like the foot troops are a little bit more disposable. I kind of like that style. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll have to go on a rant later about acceptable losses in tactics games. I have a lot of thoughts about this, but they'll take me too long to get through, so later. Skills are abilities that you gain as you level up. They give powerful enhancements and can range from gaining gold each turn to increased offense or more essence. Powers are awarded to a wielder once they reach level 8, and every 8th level after that, i.e. 16, 24, and so on. The wielder will gain a new power or the option to upgrade a current power. Powers are similar to skills, but more powerful. A wielder can only have 2 different powers at a max level of 2. More powerful, you say. Wielder. Artifacts are equipped gear that you will find on the adventurer map. You can also gain them as spoils of war after a battle against a powerful enemy wielder. Drag and drop the artifacts from your inventory to the appropriate equipment slot to gain the magical or special bonuses. Right-click an artifact in the inventory to auto-equip it and replace any item already in that slot. This is feeling a little Monster Hunter, I'm not going to lie. I like how thorough it is, but I find that tutorials like these read more like references. So I really like this tutorial being in the game, but I like this to be something that I can pull up in my menu to check back to. Whereas when I'm starting to play a game, I prefer more of like an active tutorial to where instead of telling me how to interact with the thing, it just shows me how to interact with the thing, right? Because it's kind of abstract. It's kind of hard to connect the dots of reading this essay and then remembering that I need to like right click and drag. So much, much, much prefer tutorials that show you the first time and then leave you a reference to tell you later. This also kind of, but tactics games do this a lot. I mean, we played through Final Fantasy Tactics and it was books. Wielder attributes. While leading their troops into battle, the wielder will pass on values in offense and defense directly to their troops. For offense, it's divided into melee offense and ranged offense when relevant to a specific troop. Movement and view radius are only for the wielder to use on the adventure map and will not directly help the troops in battle. Movement indicates how far the wielder can travel and also how much they get done in a single turn on the adventure map. View radius is a value that indicates how much of the adventure map is visible to the wielder. Wielder sheet. The wielder can collect a lot of modifiers and bonuses from skills, artifacts, or special locations on the adventure map. Some modifiers affect only the wielder on the adventure map, some are temporary and only last a few rounds, but most help your troops in battle. The modifiers menu provides a summary of all those modifiers presented in 3 different tabs: troop modifiers, temporary modifiers, and equipment modifiers. Equipment modifiers is a summary of all the modifiers from your currently equipped artifacts. Temporary modifiers shows a summary of all the current temporary modifiers in effect, usually from a map location that gave your wielder a temporary bonus. Can you see the smoke? Troop modifiers show a summary of all your modifiers and wielder attributes that will be directly passed on to your troops. Cool. I retained that I'm a wielder so far. Skills: command more troops and a greater army. Okay, unlocks the ability to bring 3 troops with you in your army, plus 3 command. Okay, so command is the stat that affects how many troops we can summon. Guard, a strong shield or fast feet. Survival is the most important part of fighting. Plus 10% melee resistance for our troops. Okay. Base offense 5, a wielder's offense is passed on and added to its troops' melee offense and ranged offense. Defense 10, movement 12, we saw that. View radius 7, that's our fog of war. Or rather, anti-fog of war. Specialization +1 order? Special order? We have no equipment because we didn't pick up a dagger. Oops. We're gonna have to fight with our hands. No, it's okay, we can summon troops, don't be scared. We're rich. We have money. So we can get mercs. Okay. Disband my army. No power. We ain't got nothing. Essences, order, guard, command, experience 250, movement 12. Where can I see your command level? Dog? Owned buildings, troop information, research information. Oh, Lord. Research. The research menu provides an overview of the research available to your kingdom. Research affects all your troops and resources. Research is connected to specific research buildings. We're way early for this. With their own focus. Some focus on weapons and armor, others focus on troop management and economy. Okay. You don't only need to build a specific research building of your choice, you also need to defend it in order for your research to endure and be in effect. Research becomes unavailable, effectively paused, if the research building related to that research is pillaged or razed. The research is available again when the relevant research building is repaired or rebuilt. I mean, that's fairly intuitive. Human research. We need a bunch of resources to start research tasks. Okay. This says 5,000 gold, amber, celestial ore. I mean, we're on a mission to gain ore, so probably they'll teach us about research afterwards. If I were a guessing fella. A guessing man. Now, I just can't help but note that I want to know what my command level is. It says +3, so I'm just going to have to assume that your base command is 0, and that I can currently summon 3 units. Disband this troop. Oh, do I? Oh! 3 slots for 3 different types of infantry, up to teams of 20 at the base level. We have 5 of each. We already have this army. We just don't know where they are. All right. Advance the plot. A building. Intern. Next turn. 500 gold, presumably from pillaging my own gold back, since that's probably one of our things. The Corvus reserves. Some wounded soldiers appeared from the forest and snapped to attention. This was Cecilia's Corvus reserves, and they had clearly seen combat recently.
Hail, Baroness! The Corvus reserves await your command.
Lieutenant, you've seen some combat. What is the situation and status of the mines?
Our scouts detected hostiles about, milady. The gold mine to the south has been seized by the rebels. We also encountered an unexpectedly well-armed force at Flint Hills to the west. We took heavy casualties and were forced to retreat.
How well armed?
These aren't peasants with tools and knives. They have crossbows and swords, and bannerness knights ride among them. Milady?
This is no peasant uprising. Someone thinks me weak and seeks to take advantage of my father's death to steal more than a few shipments of ore. We must uphold the laws and show them the error of their ways. Gather the troops. We march for Flint Hills. But first, to the gold mine. You gotta get the gold. Decide what troops you want to move with your wielder. Troops want to join. Mass move. All of them. Wait a minute. Oh. Ya comprendo. Okay, listen. Here's what's going on. This was what... We're gonna see it. But what's happening is we're in an overworld map. That's why we can't see our troops. They are inside of the Baroness. Figuratively. And we need to get to the gold mine, which will then expand a hex grid, and we will have a battle with our troops. Aurelian Milestone. This old milestone shows the way. +2 movement. Duration, 1 turn. Okay, thanks for the movement. Have a nice day. Old camp. Soldiers are camped here. Their camp can be pillaged for gold, or the soldiers can be recruited when they return. When they return? More soldiers? Would I ever? Source of power. Resting for a while. No! What? Reveal your secrets to me! What did you say? I think it said something along the lines of, resting here for a while restores your energy, something. Power of friendship. Onsen episode. Anyway, we have +3 movement, so. Back to the mines. It's a battle. Stand down! This mine belongs to the Barony of Stoutheart. It belongs to me.
We will do no such thing. You'd be wise to go back to your castle and prepare for a storm. There's one coming, I gather.
The only storm gathering here is me. Prepare yourself.
War. Troop deployment. On the deployment screen, you can rearrange your troops before entering battle. You can only place troops on tiles with your team color. Tiles that are elevated, high ground, give bonus to offense and defense to both melee and ranged units. Ranged troops can target any enemy within their range, and within their deadly range, they will inflict double damage. There's no line of sight. The only limit is how far their weapons reach. But note, you can increase their range by moving to high ground. Word. In the top right corner, you can see the enemy troops, if you have enough scouting. They'll be placed on the colored tiles on the right side of the battlefield, heard? If you engage the enemy and then realize that the opposing army is too powerful, you can withdraw at no penalty. If the enemy engages you, there's no possibility to withdraw. The quick battle option will auto-resolve the battle and present the outcome to you. I'm playing a tactics game. That hurt my heart. But you know what? Okay, this game does have base building and RPG elements, right? So it may be that we get to the point to where we're so strong for a fight that it's kind of a victory lap. And so quick battle for that kind of thing does make sense. After the battle, you will be presented with your result, victory or death. The troops lost in battle will be shown for each side, and if the two combatants are wielders, there's a chance of spoils of war in the form of artifacts. If you are defeated, you lost all your troops, which means that your wielder is dead. A dead wielder can be revived at a cost, or for free after a given number of rounds at any of your towns or settlements. Fun fact, I once played in a D&D campaign to where we added a new member halfway through the campaign. This member was also new to D&D. They came in on the second day and tried to rob one of our teammates. As in, literally, they rolled to pickpocket our other friend, like the person who they were fighting alongside. And so, in response, the other friend rolled to give them basically a warning smack, but was so strong that they accidentally one-shot and killed them. And then we spent the next 2 sessions trying to get rich enough to revive them. So don't die. It's very expensive. You just don't want to do it. All right. Oh, okay, you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but you actually can see high ground. If you look closely, there's these kind of slightly raised sections. I'm hoping Urtuk has this really, really nice feature that you can hold down. I think in Urtuk it's Alt and see the levels. Like there's a color coding, right? Almost like a color-coded topographical. Sorry, it's not topology. And then also numbers that indicate how many hex tiles from base it is. So in other words, this black square is probably impassable, so it would just not say anything, and then these would be a 0 or a 1, and then you've got like a 2 and a 3, right? Makes it really, really easy to read these maps, because sometimes with a grid map, it can just be hard to tell what's going on. Anyway, we can drag troops to rearrange. Right now, we just have troops in 2 placements. It looks like there are 5 enemy starting tiles. One of them is kind of hiding in this back corner. It looks like maybe they have 3 troops that they're deploying. Ah, can I not split these? Okay, curious. Okay, so we basically have to deploy the whole thing. Cecilia, do you not deploy? I want to learn. Let's do a manual battle. Battle basics. In battle, your goal is to kill all enemy units. Your wielder, or the enemy wielder, is not present on the battlefield, but acts as a spellcaster from behind the lines. Okay. Interesting. The order of battle follows the battle queue, which is based on each troop's initiative. You can only control a troop on their battle turn. Use right-click to move and target enemy troops. Hovering an enemy troop with your cursor will provide an attack preview. Using left-click on any troop will give you a full display of troop information. By the way, enemy looks like it's 3 crossbow. Battle basics. Whenever a troop gets a turn, the wielder will gain essence for your spell casting. Your wielder also generates essence it might have gained from artifacts, specializations, skills buildings, or research at the start of each new battle round. The spells button will indicate available spells you can currently cast. Quick bar, by default, auto-populates the top available spells for easy access in battle. They certainly captured Epic. That percussion in the back is a really cool sound. It sounds like clogging, actually, which is really interesting. Obstacles such as stakes, barrels, or other objects can be cleared by damaging them. High ground gives offense and defense bonuses to both melee and ranged. We knew this. Ranged troops, but melee, that's good to keep in mind. And range bonus to ranged troops, yep. However, within their deadly range, inflict double damage. We just read this message. Battle basics. Most troops have attacks of opportunity. If you move a troop into an enemy troop's melee range, their zone of control, and then try to move within, through, or leave that area, the enemy troop will perform a free attack. Most troops also have abilities. During a turn, they can move and attack, or move and use an ability. Remember that using an ability will, in most cases, end the turn of that troop. Got it. Okay, so we've got some kind of D&D rules. A little bit going on. Movement range this far. I see. Threat range. How can I tell what my deadly range is, I wonder? Check it out. Here's our initiative order. Wow, the Rangers go last? What on earth? Okay, so check it out. Footmen, 2 to 5 damage. Health, 15. Melee offense, 15. Defense, 26 rather. I don't know what there's a parentheses number and there's a something wicked is going on. Movement 3, not very far. Initiative 18, high. Melee resistance, 10%. Range resistance, 50%, that's hot. Shielded plus 50% range resistance. Okay, let's go. That's gonna help. Let's look at the crossbow. Damage 1 to 3, health 6, melee offense, blah, 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 blah. Really, it's the damage that I think matters here. Melee offense and ranged offense. Hard to tell why that would be relevant, I guess. It's kind of interesting that it says damage 2 to 5, melee offense 15. I'm curious to see what that means. I wonder if 2 to 5 is the base for this type of unit and then they're receiving a multiplier from us or something. So maybe our actual output is 15. We're gonna see soon. Initiative 10, range 5, deadly range 3. Okay, so from where they're standing, deadly range is here. Maximum range is where we're already standing. So we don't want to get within their deadly range necessarily, but also they don't have to move. If we take one step forward, we're in this one's deadly range anyway. So we'll just take a smack. I mean, we're just gonna eat it. Is this one different? No. There is a barrel that we could destroy if we wanted to. What about us? Health 7, damage 2 to 3, melee offense 7, ranged offense 16, defense 14, low initiative. These are all middling, right? Like 10-ish. Inish. Range 8, deadly range 5. Wow! So far. Aha! I suspect that 4 is our base value and 5 is the boosted value, and I suspect that that boost is because we have high ground. So what is this boost from? Hard to say. Anyway, our deadly range is apparently 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should just be able to take the shot. Once it gets to us, that is. Now, said sometimes we have abilities. Do you have an ability? I can hit this spikes. No. More spells available. Your wielder has gained more essence, and more spells are now available to cast. If your wielder has enough essence, you can cast multiple spells on each of your troops' battle turns. Each battle turn, your current troop gives your wielder essence to be used for spell casting. Essence sources such as artifacts and skills will add essence at the start of the new battle round. Essence for spells. So we lost one of our units from each of our troops, right? We were at 10 footmen, and now we're at 9, and we were at 15 rangers, and now we're at 14. Did that have an impact on our output, I wonder? I don't know. But what I do know is this enemy looks hella dead. 63 to 95. Now, what we have to wonder is that hit chance? It says 10 skull. Deadly range plus 100% damage. Offense, defense, 13% damage. Offense greater than defense, right? Okay, so there's some kind of mathematics. Shoot him. Yeah, we do 82 damage, actually. That was fierce. Okay. Now what I'd like is for you to get in here and make a ruckus. So, oh, Oh, right. Attack of opportunity. Your troop has entered an enemy troop's zone of control. If you move out of or through this area, the enemy troop gains an attack of opportunity, a free melee attack. I'm not moving out of it. Okay, science, if I move here, will that be considered moving through? Sure does. Sure does. Once you enter the zone of control, any movement from that point will trigger an AOO. We might be able to one-shot this enemy, so let's try. From range? We're actually not close enough to be within deadly range, so let's get within deadly range. Will I beat? Wow. Okay, actually, we lost substantial damage by doing that. That's curious. Spells? I'd like to look at them. We don't need to use them, but I want to know what they do. Calm down. There's no need for bloodshed. This is Pacify. Tier 1, targeted enemy troop gets minus 25% damage, duration 1 round. Essence needed to cast 8. Order? Right now we have 11 essence. Oh, essence of order, excuse me. Okay, 1 round a week. Protection. The Shield of Essence will protect you. For 5 order essence, we can target a friendly troop and give them plus 10 defense for 1 round, which could have protected some of our warriors. Might have been a good idea. And finally, Quicken. Quicken their bodies and minds. Target friendly troop gets plus 5 initiative and plus 1 troop movement. Plus 5 initiative for 1 round. The plus 5 initiative is curious. Would that have allowed our ranger to go faster before all the other rangers attacked, or the other crossbowmen? Probably. So we would spawn in. If we had enough after moving our footmen, perhaps we could cast it. I don't know. I don't know how we interrupt enemy actions there. Much more for us to find out. Victory. Okay. I like the way that this game is managing this. So what we've observed, figured out, is individual units have a health amount, and then troops have a number of units in them. When you're attacking, you're given 2 values. Your expected damage output, and then your expected number of unit kills, right? If that's high enough, you can completely destroy the enemy troop. Same is true for us, right? So we lost 2 units from our warrior troop and 1 from our rangers. Question is, will those troops... Oh no, 2 from rangers. We lost 1 more at the end. Question is, will these troops be replenished? That's something that I'm interested to find out. Because we certainly could have used some amount of essence in that fight in order to protect our units. We could have saved probably 1 unit, but I'm also not sure if our essence carries forward. So we need to see how losses work in this game. There's more to find out. Level up Wielder. Leveling up your Wielder is all about skills and powers. You can choose to either upgrade a skill your Wielder already knows, learn a new skill, or increase the Wielder's ability to command their troops by unlocking more slots in their army. As it stands, we have 3 slots and we're only using 2. So, not that pressing, right? The new skills offered are determined by the class of your Wielder. Spellcasters will more often be offered essence-related skills than battle-oriented wielders. Some skills are also not available to be picked before you reach a high enough level, all right? At level 8, your Wielder will be able to choose their first power. From there on, the Wielder will be presented with new power options at every 8th level, okay? Powers are superior to skills, will be a real advantage in both battle and building your kingdom. Deja vu. You are able to close the level up menu if you need to review things or don't feel ready to pick a skill or power. You can always come back to your choices by clicking the left circle at the Wielder portrait top left. Brief aside, it's hilarious to me that they have to say this. This is like a basic quality of life thing, but it's such a common mistake, like user interface error that's made in games, that you have to call it out in your tutorial. Like, really? It's okay to go look at your other stuff. You can still level up later. This is the most common way that this shows up in roguelikes, okay? This is, I had this rant the other day about a game we were playing. It's such a common mistake. It's totally understandable, and it's also totally fixable. And it's the open a shop and then accidentally close the shop, and now you can't go to the shop anymore. Bug. I'm gonna call that a bug, okay? This happened to Raps and I when we played Six-Sided Oracles, Estrella Six-Sided Oracles. This is brutal because you're discovering the game and you go look at something else, you close the shop window and you can't interact anymore. And this is the same idea, right? Players should be free to roam about their UI before locking in a decision that feels important to them. So this is good, but it's just funny that it has to show up in the tutorial, right? Okay, Cecilia Stoutheart, human commander. Choose a skill. 3 choices. Improve skill. Guard. Your troop gains plus 20% melee resistance. Current plus 10% melee resistance. Troops gain. That's universal, okay? It says 2. Oh, right. New skill, improve skill, upgrade command. Right. Cunning, a new skill. Plus 10 melee offense, plus 10 ranged offense, and plus 10 defense, duration 2 rounds. Wow. So this is just like a big buff. But what we don't get to see is, what does it cost? Or upgrade command up to 4 troops in your army. Sheesh. This is a universal passive. This is going to be a castable ability. I am curious in seeing more things on my first run, almost always, so we'll take Cunning for the science. I do think that it should probably show you the cost. Spells. Your wielder can cast spells in battle. While not in battle, you can review your essence sources and plan your spell casting. Right, your trajectory. Each spell costs essence to cast, and which spells you can cast depends on both which essence sources you have and how much you can gain in battle. Troops are your most important source of essence, but you can also gain it from artifacts, skills, buildings, and research. Spells can be made stronger by obtaining skills that increase their tier. Got it? By default, the quick bar will be auto-populated with available spells, as noted, and you can cast in battle, changing and updating every time you gain more essence, right? You can also choose to manually manage your quick bar by toggling auto-populate to off on the bottom of the quick bar slots. In this manual mode, you can drag and drop spells to the quick bar to prepare your favorite lineup of spells for easy access in battle. The suggestion is that we're going to have so many spells that we have to, like, choose which ones we memorize for battle. It's fascinating. I actually think we have access to all of them, though. This is just for convenience. Each time you take a turn with your troops in battle, you'll gain essence. We just learned this. Essence, each time you cast a spell, some amount depleted. The type of essence you get is affected by the blah, 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 blah. I don't need to repeat this. We learned this in the fight. Each troop gives your wielder 1 or more essences specific to the troop type at the start of their battle turn. Thus, your troop setup determines your potential essence gain per battle round. That has now just registered for the first time. Your troop layout is not only going to affect the efficacy of your armor, but effectively the build of your spellcaster. That's fascinating, right? So we can imagine that we might choose to splash a certain troop, not because we're that interested in the troop itself, but because of what spellcast it unlocks for us. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. There's some good layers to build here that I really appreciate. If any troops are lost before their turn, that source of essence will be lost. Yep. 1 stack with 3 militia units will give you 1 order essence. If you, before battle, split it up into 3 stacks, each containing 1, each individual troop will provide your wielder with 1 order essence. This will increase your total potential essence gain per battle round. Okay, we can split up our troops to gain more essence, but then also we've made those troops more vulnerable. It's more likely that they'll be completely depleted, right? So, risk, reward. Now, we just unlocked Rally. Fill your troops with inspiration and bravery. All friendly troops get plus 10 defense, plus 10 melee offense, plus 10 ranged offense. It says duration 1 round. I thought when we leveled up, it said duration 2 rounds. Bug? No, we got Cunning? That's right. Question is, where is it? Thank you. Where would you say you are? It almost feels like... Speak to me, my love is strong. Speak to me. I heard the twang and I was like, where are we going, Treebeard? I can't find cunning. It doesn't exist. Hold up. Right, it was a skill, but when we unlocked it, it said 2 rounds. Yeah, no, here it is. Cunning. But that means it's just a flat buff. Ghosts do exist. We're just gonna write that one off. I can't think about that too much. We're gonna see soon enough. Ah, okay, chat suggests maybe it only lasts the first 2 rounds. It's a powerful passive buff, but it's not permanent. And that would actually make sense, right? Because this specifically says, know your enemy and plan accordingly. The spirit of this buff is that it's all about preparation, right? It's cunning. But that should be expressed here in the skills menu. I definitely think that should be written in. But that makes a lot of sense to me. Gold mine, plus 500 gold a round because we got this. Okay, cool. We don't have any use for gold per round yet, but we will. Now we need to retake Flint Hill. So, back to the front. Oops. I need to get into the practice of using the keyboard for sure, because no matter how much you right-click, you do eventually have to press E. Plus 2 movement, because we passed by it. Looks like we have a new interaction. Old battlefield, source of power, and a tribute to order. Special order. Walking... Dang it. Old battlefield visited, plus 20 defense, minus 10 offense, duration 1 battle. Interesting. It said something like, walking on the old battlefield makes you weary of something, right? Like, I guess the suggestion is that seeing the fallen troops makes us more cautious going into the next fight. I keep making this mistake, by the way. That actually is feedback that I'll give, is that it's just a little bit too easy to click out of your read. I can totally understand why they don't want you to have a lot of buttons to press to get out of reading these things, because there are a lot of them, but I would like to read them one time. Wielders of the Essence. Cecilia was no ordinary commander. She was a wielder, and could draw upon the essence of her troops to weave mighty spells, so I've been told. As she touched the old tribute to order, she felt its... All I wanted to do was scroll the map. That's it. There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. Bye. Old camp. Bink. Soldiers are camped here. Their camp can be pillaged for gold, or the soldiers can be recruited when they return. More soldiers? More gold. Soldiers it is. That's a new troop type. That was crossbows. Old camp?
More riches.
Oh! Oh!
I see a treasure chest, I do.
Soldiers are... Confirm. Oh, I see. Wow! This troop type can stack up to 50. I guess militia are cheap. A group of trained soldiers are camped here, awaiting orders. Oh no. Oh no. We don't have enough command. I couldn't accept them. Too many unit types. Tragic. I wonder if they go to a garrison or something? New artifact. Your wielder has gained a new artifact. You can review your inventory and equipment in the wielder sheet next to your wielder portrait. I've been there many times now. An artifact will be auto-equipped if the wielder has an empty equipment slot of the right type. Okay. What did I get? Archer's Gambison. Cheap and easy to produce, it offers basic protection for the troops of low rank. +4 defense. But it sounds like... Oh no, this is just going to be universal defense. It's just saying that it's not that strong. When it's saying low rank, it's not specifying that only certain types of our troops get the power. It's just saying that it's weak. +1,300 gold. Shrine of Aurelia. I'm not clicking anything. Hands off the wheel, baby! Hundreds of years ago, the Empire of Aurelia spanned the whole world. Statues of the Empress can still be found spread across Arlian, and many folk speak dreamingly of the golden years of Aurelia. Dreamingly. For visiting the shrine, +10 initiative, +1 troop movement, and +1 battle. And also +1 battle. For +1 turn.
Take your dingus.
Alright.
We approach our next battle.
Rebel Barricade. Erected barricades and a small force of armed peasants blocked the road west. Ye best be gone, young stoutlet. Flint Hills are free lands now. Free? Free to be attacked by bandits and pillaged by other baronies? Who will protect the people? You? Why not? As you can see, we're quite well armed. I can see that, but I caution you to think carefully before your next actions. Put down your weapons, answer my questions, and I'll be merciful. Or stand unlawfully against me, and my sword will deliver justice. Now, who armed you? One of good intentions. I've seen stout hurt mercy when old Lord Hammond was decapitated by your father. Now turn back. It brings me no pleasure to turn my sword upon my subjects, but unlawful acts will not be tolerated. Stout heart will stand. Battle! Lots of freaking high ground in this one. 3 enemy troops are deployed, each on high ground, but we don't have enough scouting to see who they are. What they are? What they do? We have 3 troops this time, though. Footmen, ranges, and rangers. Except these are called militia, and they have a crossbow. Presumably weaker than our rangers. Rangers claim to have 21 ranged offense versus militia, who claim to have 15, but they have much greater initiative. Movement is not commensurate, actually. Our backline rangers can move much more effectively. Genuinely thinking about deploying our footmen up north and having them rush here. Rangers south, because I think that their range is enough to hit this. Range 7, deadly range 4, but that's not with the height advantage. I think I remember it being 5. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, this game specified no line of sight restrictions. So rangers in the south, move twice, boom. Direct attack on whatever this is with deadly force. Protect militia. Position footmen high. They'll rush into this slot. Militia will come to cover and start taking pot shots. Fight.
Battle!
All right. The enemy troops are in fact militia again, just like the ones we fought before. Same stats it seems, but a much different looking map. Notably, we didn't get to scout these barricades before, which is fascinating. We do start with 4 order, which is enough to get quicken, +5 initiative, +1 troop movement. Notably, probably because we leveled up. No, we got a bunch of initiative from visiting that shrine. Bingo. So we don't need to use any buffs. We're actually all faster than them on this turn. How dank is that? And we've got +1 movement? Back to the front! Okay. Deploy. I need no assistance in this time. I'll be victorious of my own merit. Thank you. Deadly range 5. 27 to 81 damage, 4 to 12. We could get a full knockdown here. Wouldn't mind. Brah! Down to 3 units. It's fascinating to me. I'm pretty sure that these 3 units still have the full effect of the full troop before. Let's see, ranged offense 5, ranged offense 5, ranged offense 5. I don't know that though. That might be ranged offense per unit, right? That would actually make sense. Because this says ranged offense 21. 33 to 50, but we're in deadly range, which is plus 100% damage, and our offense is greater than their defense, such that we're getting plus 18% damage, but we have moved, so that's minus 50% damage. Okay, so that completely offsets the deadly range, right? Moving plus 100%, or rather, deadly range plus 100, moving in half. Times 2, divided by 2. So all we're getting is an 18% damage boost in the net. It says 33 to 50. Base ranged offense 21, it claims. But we're getting some bonus from being on high ground to our deadly range, okay. But not to damage. I haven't quite figured out the calculus. That's my one missing ingredient. How exactly do we get from the stats of this ranger with these modifiers to the damage we're doing here? There's a step I'm missing, and it might be the more of those, what was it calling them? Permanent modifiers, temporary modifiers, transitive, temporary, commutative modifiers. There's some missing mathematics, but we'll find them. We can get in and make an attack here. And we won't take an attack of opportunity because we're just moving into the zone of control. So that's nice. Hither and thither. There will be no moving. 77, huh? That was plus 18% and plus 100%. So we had times 2, times 2.36, whatever our base damage was. Base damage claims 31, 2.36, 261, 36 more, about a third. Yep, okay, that maths out, actually. Something I must have been missing in the previous round, because this one looks exactly correct. And you look dead, fam. GG. Victory! Sweet dreams. That's assuming it's multiplicative. Troops lost? 2 rangers, my precious rangers. Enemy troops lost. All. Do I see a secret path situation? It seems, if it is a secret path, it's way too secret. I suspect it's just a loop. We'll get there. Many riches. Oh! Bannerless Knights. Threat level towards Cecilia unknown. It seems there are between 1 and 25 in number. I can't clear these barricades. Wah, wah. Fight! Dang it. I'm gonna lose the +1 movement. Stinky. I wonder if there's an undo. Probably not, because I cleared Fog of War, right? Wah, wah. Knights at Flint Hills. As Cecilia's troops approach Flint Hills, a well-armed force of soldiers, wearing no barony's colors, came out to meet them. Knights, archers, you're no ordinary bandit force.
I've always wanted to kill a wielder. You won't be the first upstart knight I've defeated. Nor will you be the last. Bannerless scum! They're giving us more and more of these split levels. I don't want to lose more of my rangers. They're precious to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could start here with rangers, and that's actually in range. It won't be deadly range, but we can start shooting right away. Deploy footmen to the middle in order to have adaptability in terms of where they go. Bannerless knights, few archers, several footmen, but we don't know where. And from here, we can deploy up to here. We'll be behind cover, and that'll be a great spot to be able to take really aggressive shots at the rest of the map, so long as they don't hug the northern wall, which we can bait them south, right? Presumably. Let's fight. I'm going to use a spell this fight, because it seems that we don't keep our essence, so there's no sense in not using it. It is a truly usable resource. New enemies, we now have footmen. These are identical to ours. Damage 2 to 5, health 15. Initiative 18, fairly high. And they do have ranged resistance. Not ideal for our southern archer, but hold up. What's this? Knights, 13 to 16 damage. And we now understand the offense and defense stats. These are not numbers that go towards damage directly. This is, as said, an overwhelm system. Their offense is checked against our defense when they attack us, and then higher gets a multiplier. Initiative 27, hence they got to go first, very fast. Initiative 16, initiative 10. We started with only 3 order essence this time because we didn't have a bonus from a buff in the overworld map. So we can't immediately cast Quicken, which is really too bad. But you know what I think we can do? Kill this pony. They do have range resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it! And they're out of my deadly range. For each step, they receive plus 10 melee offense. Whoa. Charge? Okay, and then they have a ranger of their own. They're called archers. 3 to 4 damage, 12 health. Low melee offense, makes sense. 17 ranged offense. Deadly range 7. 7? Lord? That's so far. Hello? We are within range of attack from this knight, so it's imperative that we shut that down. If we move here, then we turn it into an attack of opportunity as they pass. If we move here, I think we can turn it into... No, it'll still just be 1. Dang it. I was trying to position us to where we could solicit multiple attacks of opportunity, but we're just getting 1 either way. I do like being slightly more southern because that makes it harder for them to get a deadly attack out of their archer, right? But we don't want to be quite this far south because then they can just go to this square. We need to be here. Lots to think about. There's the Quicken. Plus 5 initiative, plus 1 troop movement if we want to use it. Plus initiative on this ranger would let them go before the enemy archer, but do we care? That doesn't really do anything for us. High ground? That will be safe. Whew. We probably want to use the militia to take down the enemy range because their efficacy against pony is just not good. And if we can take down the range, it'll probably save us casualties on the front line here. That being said, we do have range resistance on our knights, right? We could start taking shots. Probably killing this is first priority. What we need to do is check the damage that we'll take here, right? Ranged offense 17. Defense 27, so we out-defend them substantially. Damage 3 to 4. We're within deadly range, so they'll get 200%. They won't have moved.
1340. Kind of seems like the numbers are getting times 10'd. Doesn't it? Like, I'm actually anticipating that damage 3 to 4 means something closer to damage 30 to 40. Maybe they express it as this single-digit number, and then they take it to 2 digits when they start doing the math, so it comes out cleaner. If we assume that it's 30 to 40, our militia have 6 health each. They're going to be coming out double from deadly range, 60 to 80, but then we'll have a substantial reduction because of our defense, maybe call it 20%. Fifth off. 48 to 64. At max value, that's killing over 10 of our militia. It's substantial. However, if we take this shot right now, we kill their ranger in, on average, 2 shots. Let's do it.
Arrows ready!
They did 20 damage. Was that what I expected? Three to 4. Up to 30, 40. Did they move? Maybe they were within deadly range. One half of my brain is like, Teak. Fight intuitively, you nerd. It's fine. And the other half of my brain is like, I have to die, it works. Chat thinks that the quantity of troops does have an effect on your damage output. And I mean, that would make sense to me, right? Because otherwise splitting troops would be insanely powerful. Insane. High ground plus 20% damage. Offense greater than defense plus 4% damage. Ranged attacks resistance minus 50% damage. We will not kill any of them. If we attack here, we can kill 2. And they're in deadly range. Really, I think we're peppering this pony. My pony. Charge! Okay, we got 1 ranger left, baby. Skrr. We did not get an AOO. There was no zone of control trap. Maybe that's like a thing that ponies get to do. Pony special. Actually, it might have just avoided the path. Did it actually go this way instead of this way? Or did it charge through? I may have missed that. Yeesh. Very spooky. Okay. We are in big trouble. Very big. How to defend my team's honor from deadly power. Smash. Did it get a counterattack? No, it must have just been its turn. Why would it not attack my... Maybe they have high ground? Question mark. And so when I attack them, they get a counterattack? Triple question mark? There are at least several things going on that I do not understand. Reloading! Okay, so militia have a reloading round, but they can move while they do it. Neat. A reload away. I'm in trouble. Next round is the knights. They get to move again? That's just not right. If we can get up to rally, it could make all the difference. I suspect that the Rangers are going to be die. Ah! Rally! Be strong, my children! Fight bravely! Gah! Fight! Valiantly! Defeat your enemy! Why do they get counterattacks? Is that a thing? Tutorial? Move within through, so it's not an attack of opportunity situation. Rangers, archers, minstrel, barony, ballista. Wow. I can see really a lot of unit types. Nice and early. Fists of order! I got nothing, folks. But I suspect that we won't have nothing forever. And that's worth fighting for. Intern? Shields up, nerd. Get him! Momentum. Fight! I have the low ground! Is that within my deadly range? 1, 2, 3, 4, blah. Answer is no. I do not intend to move. Follow me! To your doom, nerd. Okay, we got to counterattack that time. One attack around? This is the soundtrack to my life, actually. This is what's playing in my head, like, when I'm mowing the lawn. Teak valiantly defeats the grass. We're this close to understanding exactly what's going on here. It does seem like there are some limited mechanics to free counterattacks. It's not an attack of opportunity, it's different, but I don't remember the tutorial telling me anything about counterattacks. Ah! Oh god, I'm reloading? Movement 3. Nerd. Move this! We did get a good spell in that time, by the way. We got a rally and it made all the difference. The big one. What I didn't manage to check is whether or not Cunning really only lasted the first 2 rounds. G. Freaking G. Victory. However, our units situation, not good. Perhaps I can recover. Looks like maybe we're going to a town now. Flint Hills. A crowd of peasants, led by a village elder, came out to greet Cecilia as her force entered Flint Hills. I have defeated the rebels and restored Flint Hills to the protection of Stoutheart, as is my duty. Now, who among you will tell me what happened? Those knights and their soldiers appeared recently and armed all the local troublemakers. They seized our quarries and mines and started sending the shipments south towards Barkspur, where the patron awaits.
Oink. And none of you stood against them? None of you sent word to the local warden or to Springhold?
No, my lady. We were afeared for our lives. We sent a messenger to Hope's Glade to warn them and ask for help, but the messenger never returned.
Remember this moment the next time you are made the offer of independence. I will always protect the barony from threats within and without. Join my forces, and together we will restore order to this territory.
We hear the call to arms of Stoutheart, as we did for your father before you. There are able-bodied recruits in the peasant hut.
Good, because ain't a lot of able bodies in my army.
Restore my army with your bodies.
Claimed farmhouse, plus 75 gold a round. Claimed pig, plus 39 militia. Oh, God. Okay, no. You gotta pay for these, ma'am. That's a peasant hunt. It's not for free.
Hold up 1 minute.
I'll be back. Blacksmith? The smith generously parts with her latest work, an archer's helmet. Plus 4 defense, okay. Pile of stone. Believe it or not, contained stone. Out of movement. Stone deposit. Receiving 2 stone each round. Claim. Receiving 2 more stone each round. Plus 6 stone. Are we fin to have some research? A cozy tavern, plus 5 movement for 2 turns. Oh, God, why do I always do this so early? Okay, well, I don't know what else I can spend money on other than the Gucci store, so we should probably spend it. Well, no. We need some amount of gold for research, but we also need ore, and I suspect that getting ore is the point of this first mission. I said that before, but now I really believe it. So I'm gonna buy all these. We now have 50 militia. Oh, I do it here. Oh. Whoa! Satisfying. Wrong way. Okay. 3 troops of 16 2/3 militia? Carry on. We will restore order to the countryside, regardless of its cost. A forward scout. A small band of Cecilia's scouts stood waiting along the roadside. Lady Stoutheart! Corporal Greenwood! We've come from your warden, Villia of Thorncliffe, as per your command. Your troops are concealed at the forest's edge. Corporal, this is not the forest's edge. These troops are camped within the Tinderwild. You may have disturbed the Fae. The Fae, milady? Surely the Fae are only a myth. Superstitions for the country folk. Did my ancestors sign a covenant with mythological creatures? The law of the leaves still stands, and we must make sacrifice or break the peace. Consider what we must forfeit to the forest beings to atone for your error. I await your judgment. My life is yours. Your death would serve no one. If I remember my history, there is an offering tree southwest of here. Join up, Corporal. I need all my troops, even the ones who make mistakes. Your loyal servant, Lady Stoutheart. I may be dumb, but I love you.
Tally-ho! Quit that. I wasn't... Oh, it happens automatically when you let go. Say what? There we go.
All.
What? That system's a little wonky, but it's starting to click. Place an offering at the offering tree. They said it's to the southwest. Leaving a stone shows respect for the fallen. +1 offense, +1 defense. Forever? I mean, we got a bunch of stones, and it's literally just rocks. I mean, surely what we just did was fine. Old camp. Soldiers! Okay, thinking. The militia that we got in town cost us about 5,500 for 33. So this is a steal. Take the soldiers. We're gonna need those with the way that I'm playing tonight. Yes, I accept your soldiers for 750. A glorious exchange. Rangers!
Pourquoi?
What is, Are they, like, different? Essence order. Essence order. Do I need an empty slot to combine them? No, it just auto-accepts them. Okay. That got me all spooked. I was all spooked. Large spooking. Giant mushrooms. The spores from these strange mushrooms fill the army with berserker rage. +1 damage, +1 troop movement, -25 defense for 1 battle. All right. 1 battle for the road. This way we get to see a new type of enemy creature. I was hoping to complete 1 mission, but it actually looks like the maps are fairly substantial. This is not just like 2 skirmishes and an event. There's quite a lot going on here. Based on the size of the minimap, we've only seen 1/4 of it, maybe 1/3 if you consider the wilds at the edges non-territory. So there may be as many as 5 fights left, several exchanges, death, decay, punishment, 1 fight with some Fey spirits. Threat level towards Cecilia, unknown. It seems they are numbered between 1 and 25. We no longer have melee units, so I hope that range is effective in this fight. Because otherwise, we gonna be dead. Get him! Deranged Fey. Maybe we should have visited the waters too, huh? Fey spirits, flying creatures of the Tenderwild with bat-like wings, long claws, and sharp teeth, swooped and buzzed before the offering tree. They wore strange masks and screeched at Cecilia and her troops.
Humans be gone!
We wish to leave an offering for our trespass on the forest, as is stated in the ancient covenant between us. Stand aside, little spirits. I would do my duty.
No humans! Not ever!
Spirits, do not trifle with me. I am Stoutheart, and by the agreements I seek to make amends. If you continue to impede my passage to the offering tree, I will draw arms and put you out of your misery.
You are misery! Misery!
So be it.
Battle?
5? Many? Threat level easy? Well, we'll see about that, won't we? We will see about that. It would be nice to, like, I should have sorted these troops a little bit more eagerly. Oh well. In we go. Their teams are very small-sided. But they have high initiative and movement. And their damage is obscene. 8 to 12. Middling melee offense. I fear this fight. But we can get an immediate kill here, and we should take it. Momentum. You know what? Let's kill the four-sided troops here. Another one! We should have looked to see if there was a spell we needed to cast at that moment. Dude, everybody wants to attack my rangers. Why you gotta do me like that? Do less. Movement 5. Movement 5. If we give them initiative, we can get out of range. We should have given them defense. Really, that could have made a huge difference if we gave them defense before their turn. As it stands, we're in the zone of control of this Fey Spirit, which means that we should take an attack of opportunity upon leaving. Don't love that. Cast. Become strong. The reloading, it's killer. Knock arrows! Oh, I can do a point blank attack and get the kill? Heard? Word. Nice. I didn't anticipate that our rangers would be so good at melee. Those units are pretty weak defensively, right? Just big and strong offensively, and many. And fast. Another level up, Cecilia Stoutheart to level 3. Offered the next level of cunning, now it would last for 3 rounds. That's pretty sweet. Beginning of the fight is the only part that's guaranteed to happen, but I also wouldn't mind upgrading command here. Let's go ahead and upgrade command. This way we can take another troop should we be offered like some Fey here or something crazy. I do want to see this event. So let's get to it. What would you say is going on here? Worn boots. +1 movement, +1 view radius. Says sturdy and well worn, they've seen better days, but still work as intended. The circle infuses any visiting wielder with power for their next battle. +10 offense, +10 defense, and +2 movement for one fight. It was worth it to go southwest. The offering tree was the most unusual tree Cecilia had ever seen. Her friend, Vilya of Thorncliffe, had described them once, but it had not done them justice. The branches were smooth and glossy and seemed to be lit from within. The leaves tinkled like tiny bells in the breeze, and most uncommon, the tree gave off the aroma of warm spiced cider, like her mother would have given her when she was small. Fae of the forest, for trespass upon your woods, we offer compensation. For these Fey spirits slain, I ask forgiveness. They could not be reasoned with. Let our peace be everlasting. As the offerings were presented, the forest around Cecilia grew quiet. Hopefully, it was enough. And so too shall I grow quiet, for it is time that I depart from this, the first mission of our experience in Songs of Conquest. That was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. I really have enjoyed this quite a lot, actually. I'm interested in getting deeper. I definitely get the strong sense that this is a game that I need to play for like 5 hours before I can get through all the systems. Tactics games are often like this. The first fights are fairly simplistic. That being said, I don't think we got anywhere close to playing them optimally. I mean, there's a ton of room for improvement, a large amount of ceiling above our heads. But I can already see how these will start to expand as we get into more complex troops, more interesting spell combinations, more variety among our troops in terms of their movement and their special abilities. That's something that they were supposed to have that we just haven't seen yet. Also, just really, really meditative. I can't say that I've played any tactics games, actually. Well, okay, no, Urtuk. Urtuk has the overworld like this, but the Urtuk overworld has this transactional quality to it that feels very different. I actually feel like I'm exploring here. I actually feel like I'm playing an old school RPG and looking around this map and finding things and learning about different factions and engaging with artifacts of power, right? Powerful power. Yeah, great experience. Would do again. It's been lovely. This has been Songs of Conquest, just released to early access a few days ago. An homage to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I've been sneakyteak. Thanks for joining me, folks. Until next time.